this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Klim Kalike Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. Just a really quick video. A lot of people know, you may not know, that we have a dasha system. There's Shawtee dasha, which is a period of time. So everybody goes through certain periods of time in their life. This is what we need to use in order to predict for somebody what they will go through in their life. And this period of time is based on the moon and the nakshatra that your moon is placed in at the time of your birth. These periods are ruled by planets. These planets will be the signature energy that you're going to go through for this specific amount of time. Then there's also sub-periods. So this is how we're able to really predict for a person about what's going to happen. But also, say I get a chart from a client, I'm able to look at that chart and see how their childhood was, see how their entire life was. Did they have a rough childhood when they were growing up? How was their teenage years? How was all of this? We can see their entire life all the way until they're going to die, basically, how everything is going to play out. And of course, you can make this better with spiritual practice. So we can see their entire lives, basically, of what's going to happen and what has happened through the planet. How you do that is you can also look at where that planet is in the chart, what houses it rules, what conjunctions it has, what aspects it has. Then you look at where that planet is in the D9, and to give you additional information, where that planet is in the D10, to give you additional information about the career and the houses that it rules as well. Now, I think a lot of people know that who watch me, or some may don't. I don't know. It seems like everybody's at different levels. So that is how we are able to predict for people. Now, there is another dasha system, which is a chakra dasha system that you can use with this system so that you can have more accurate predictions. This one is based on the ascendant. It's kind of a challenging calculation in order to calculate this. So I would suggest that you use software in order to calculate this, good software, because a lot of the software that you see online is not accurate. You guys will see me post charts from apps. That's just the easiest way for me to put a chart up in a video. But in my consultations, I do not use charts from apps. I use software from a desktop. So that is the best way of doing it, or consulting an astrologer for that to understand what position you're in. This one comes from the ascendant, from the signs. So you'll actually, instead of getting a planet, you'll get a sign, and you'll understand that period of time based on a sign. You might think that, well, how will I know? Because these might be competing. They might be saying something completely different from each other, but they actually always correspond with each other. This is how deep astrology is. And the more you look into astrology, the more you realize that this was never made by any human being. And it is absolutely impossible how everything matches up. So we can look at this with the other dasha systems and they correlate. So for example, say you're in a chakra dasha and you look at it and you say you're in a period of time of Scorpio. So then you look, what house is Scorpio? And then that will be playing out for this specific number of years. So that's going to really depend on your chart, how long this is going to last for. There's certain amounts of times that certain periods last for. Same with the Vimshotri dasha system. That depends on the planet. Certain planets last a certain amount of time. And I won't go through all of that because it's going to take me a while. And then you can look at Scorpio in your D9 chart. Where is Scorpio? Is it the second house? Is it about money? Is it about your possessions and what you value? Or is it the seventh house? Is it about your business or your relationships? Is it about marriage? And then you can look at the D10 as well to see what parts of your career will be highlighted during this time. Also, there are many other different charts that you can look at. There's hundreds of D charts that you can look at to know specific things about your life. So say if you looked at the D7, then that can tell you about children, for example. So there's many different charts that you can use, but you can look at Scorpio within all of those and see how it's going to bring out. Just like there's charts for wealth, you can see the chart for wealth. How is my wealth going to be during this time? And see specifically based on this dasha system. And then you can correlate it with the planet. So say it was a Jupiter, you're a Jupiter and Scorpio, then you look at that. How is their relationship to each other? And then in Scorpio as well, say that was the zodiac sign is highlighting. Look at the planets. What planets are in there? Where do these planets come from? Which houses? What's aspecting these planets? That will give you more insight into what will happen to you during this time. And this will help you have more accurate predictions. So this video is just to show you the basics of what can happen. And then if I see a lot of interest, then I'll definitely make videos giving you examples from charts of how we can do this, because each dasha can be a study of its own. Your entire life you can study this. There's ample amounts of books that you can study for just one dasha, and you can study that your entire life. So this is something that you will want to keep practicing, keep using, and eventually you'll be doing this for many lifetimes. So this is just a little hint of what you can do using the dasha system. And then also the chakra dasha system has sub periods as well, which breaks it down. And then both dasha systems have more sub periods under those sub periods. So then we can get things pretty exact. But remember, in order to use these dasha systems, you have to have the correct birth time. That is very, very important. So if you don't know your correct time, then get it rectified by an astrologer who knows what they're doing. That's just a little bit about that and what's involved in predicting when it comes to certain dasha systems. So I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.